Let me ask you something. You can follow an entire movie in English, right? You can listen to a podcast, maybe even read an article, and you understand almost everything. But then someone at work or a friend asks you a simple question. What did you do this weekend? And then it happens. That freeze, that mental traffic jam where all the perfect words you know you have in your brain suddenly disappear. You're searching, you're translating, and by the time you form a clumsy sentence, the moment is gone. The conversation has moved on. It is one of the most frustrating feelings for an English learner. If you've ever felt this, then listen closely. This is not a grammar problem. It's not a vocabulary problem. It's a system problem. And today, we are going to fix it. Ready to level up your English? I'm Max, and welcome back to your weekly training session. Today, we are going to expose the real reason why you understand English perfectly but can't speak it fluently. And more importantly, I'm going to give you a powerful technique to finally break through that wall between understanding and speaking. You're going to want to stick around for this one. Let's get to work. All right, team, let's get straight to the diagnosis. If you understand but can't speak, you are experiencing something I call the passive knowledge trap. Think of your English knowledge like a massive library in your brain. You've spent years filling it with books, grammar rules, vocabulary lists, idioms. When you listen or read, you're just walking through the library and recognizing the books on the shelves. Oh, I know that one. I remember reading that. That's passive knowledge. It's about recognition. But when you need to speak, the task is completely different. You're not just recognizing a book. You have to run into that library, find the exact right book, open it to the perfect page, pull out the precise sentence you need, and then say it out loud. All in a matter of seconds. That's active knowledge. It's about production and retrieval under pressure. The passive knowledge trap is the illusion that because your library is full, you should be able to produce the words easily. But you've spent 90% of your learning time filling the shelves, and maybe only 10% of your time practicing pulling the books out. This creates two major roadblocks in your brain. Roadblock number one is the retrieval pathway is weak. Imagine a path in a forest. The more you walk on it, the wider and clearer it becomes. Your passive knowledge pathways for listening and reading are like superhighways. You've used them thousands of times. But the active pathway for speaking is like a tiny overgrown trail. You know it's there somewhere, but it's slow and difficult to navigate. When you freeze while speaking, your brain is literally struggling to find this weak pathway. It's not that you don't know the word, it's that you can't retrieve it fast enough. Roadblock number two. The confidence filter is too high. This is the psychological part. Because you're consciously aware of all the books in your library, you're also hyper-aware of all the mistakes you could make. You start thinking, is this the right tense? Is this the perfect word? Is my pronunciation okay? This internal monologue is what psychologists call the affective filter. When your fear and self-doubt are high, this filter goes up like a wall, blocking the flow of language from your brain to your mouth. You're so busy trying to be perfect that you end up saying nothing at all. So the real reason you can't speak is not because your English is bad. It's because you have a world-class library of passive knowledge, but the system for retrieving that knowledge is weak and blocked by a fear of making mistakes. The good news? We can fix this system. We can strengthen that pathway and lower that confidence filter. And the technique to do it is simpler than you think. Ready to learn how? So how do we solve this system problem? How do we build a superhighway for retrieval and smash that confidence filter? We are going to use a technique I call active storytelling. This isn't just speaking. This is a targeted workout designed to force your brain to switch from passive recognition to active production. It's simple, you can do it alone, and it only takes 10 to 15 minutes a day.
The core idea is this. Instead of just consuming content, you are going to actively recreate it in your own words. Here's the 3-step process. Step 1. Choose your content the right way. First, you need a short piece of English content, and I mean short. A 1-minute YouTube video, a 30-second news clip, or even just 3 or 4 paragraphs from an article. The content must have a clear beginning, middle, and end, a mini story. Crucially, you should understand about 80 to 90% of it. This exercise is not about learning new words. It's about activating the words you already know. Step 2. The deep dive. Listen or read with intent. Now, you consume the content but not passively. You do it with the specific intention of understanding the story. Who are the people? What happened first? What happened next? What was the result? If it's a video, watch it 2 or 3 times. If it's an article, read it slowly. Take a few mental notes. Don't write anything down yet. Just focus on absorbing the narrative. Step 3. The active recall. Tell the story out loud. This is the main event. Put the video or article away. You can't look at it. Now, stand up, walk around, and tell the story out loud as if you were explaining it to a friend. And here are the 3 critical rules for this step. Rule number 1, use your own words. Do not try to remember the exact sentences from the original content. Your goal is to explain the ideas using the vocabulary and grammar that you can actively retrieve from your brain library. This is the core of the workout. Rule number 2, do not stop speaking. Even if you get stuck, even if you can't find the perfect word, do not pause for more than a few seconds. If you can't find a word, describe it. For example, if you forget the word architect, you can say the person who designs buildings. The goal is to keep the flow of speech going. This builds the retrieval pathway and teaches your brain to find solutions instead of freezing. Rule number 3, record yourself. Use the voice memo app on your phone. This is non-negotiable. Recording yourself does 2 powerful things. First, it adds a tiny bit of pressure, simulating a real conversation and forcing you to perform. Second, and more importantly, it allows you to listen back. When you listen back, you will be amazed. You will hear your hesitation points. You will hear the words you struggled to find. But you will also hear yourself successfully telling a complete story in English. This is undeniable proof that you can speak. It directly attacks your confidence filter by replacing self-doubt with evidence of your ability. Doing this active storytelling workout every day is like taking that overgrown trail in the forest and walking on it again and again and again. Soon it becomes a clear, wide path. Your brain learns how to retrieve information quickly, and your confidence soars because you have proof that you are a capable English speaker. All right, that's the theory. Now let's put it into practice. Let's do a mini drill together.
All right, time for our drill. I'm going to tell you a very short, simple story. Your mission is to listen carefully, absorb the details, and then retell it in your own words. I'll tell the story twice. Don't worry about memorizing it. Just focus on understanding what happens. Ready? Here's the story. Yesterday, a man named David was walking in the park when he saw a small, scared cat stuck in a tall tree. The cat couldn't get down. David wanted to help, so he first tried to call the fire department, but his phone had no battery. So he decided to climb the tree himself. It was a difficult climb, but he finally reached the cat, brought it down safely, and the cat's happy owner, a little girl, gave him a big hug as a thank you. Okay, absorbed that? Let's hear it one more time. Yesterday, a man named David was walking in the park when he saw a small, scared cat stuck in a tall tree. The cat couldn't get down. David wanted to help, so he first tried to call the fire department, but his phone had no battery. So he decided to climb the tree himself.
It was a difficult climb, but he finally reached the cat, brought it down safely, and the cat's happy owner, a little girl, gave him a big hug as a thank you. All right, now it's your turn. I want you to pause this video in a moment, stand up, open the voice recorder app on your phone, and retell that story out loud. Remember the rules, use your own words, and do not stop speaking. Describe things if you forget a word. The goal is to explain the main ideas. Who was the man? What was the problem? How did he solve it? What was the result? Okay, I'm going to count to 3. When I say 3, pause the video and do your active storytelling drill. It should only take a minute or 2. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3. Pause the video. Welcome back. How did that feel? A little strange? A little difficult? Perfect. That feeling is you building that new pathway in your brain. Now I want you to do the most important part. Listen to your recording. Hear yourself telling a full story in English. That voice you're hearing, that is an English speaker. That is the proof that you can do this.
Fantastic work today. You didn't just watch a video. You diagnosed a deep problem in your learning system, you learned a powerful technique to fix it, and you took the first step in actively training your brain. So here's your key takeaway. The gap between understanding and speaking is not a knowledge gap. It's a retrieval gap. You don't need more vocabulary lists. You need more practice activating the vocabulary you already have. Active storytelling is the workout that builds that retrieval muscle. And that leads us to your challenge for the week. I challenge you to do the active storytelling drill just 3 times this week. That's it. Find 3 short videos or articles and spend 10 to 15 minutes on each one following the steps we practiced. To hold yourself accountable, I want you to go to the comment section right now and type, "I accept the challenge." Let's create a community of action takers who are serious about unlocking their fluency. Remember, building that speaking pathway is just like going to the gym. It takes consistent, targeted workouts, but every single time you do it, the path gets clearer, the retrieval gets faster, and your confidence gets stronger. You have the tools. Now it's time to put in the work.